I'ma be happy. I'ma be good. You better believe it. I'ma be happy. I'ma be good. Get that understood.
Okay, let me just pull this down so I don't look like a... I'm gonna look like a duck anyway. It's okay. I just look like a duck. I just look like a duck. I'm a duck. I'm actually a duck. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Amina Mahogany, back again for another video. And today I have again the lovely, beautiful queen herself, Ashabi. And we are here to do the second part of the What Black Panther Means to Us video. So today we will be talking about the themes of self-identity, white privilege, how Wakanda could come to life, and how Black Panther is for everybody. So on that note, we are gonna get into the video. Okay, so first theme is that Black Panther is for everyone.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of people have a lot of issues with Black Panther because it has like 2 white people as like main characters and maybe 6 that are just like security or whatever. And so I just want to comment on a couple of things that I've seen, a couple of interviews or whatnot, and stuff that's been in the news. So when Black Panther was first like really rolling, really having those box office prices come in, a lot of white people, you get what I'm saying, were mad, and they were going to theaters, watching the movie, and then putting makeup on their face as if they were beat up at the movie theater by black people. And that was on the news. It was on the news. And I'm like, what goes through your head? What makes you so jealous? What makes you so upset about a movie that you could relate to if you had the intelligence to relate to it and see the things where you do relate to it, that you go to these measures and try to make a scene of like violence for black people showing up for a black movie that they want to support? What? Like, that in itself made me so angry, because I'm like, we can't have nothing. Like, as soon as we have something for us, it's like everybody got to go crazy and try to find a way to tear it down and make us look like the bad people. When literally Black Panther is for everybody. You can find a piece of yourself. Anybody, any ethnicity can find a piece of their self in this movie, and you wanted to try and tear it down. Thankfully, that did not happen. But that's number 1. Black Panther is for everybody. Example number 1 is there. Example number 2, as I stated in the last video, I've seen a lot of the interviews about this movie. Most days I just sit and watch. That's a shame. But most days I just sit and just watch, because I'm an observer. I'm a people watcher. I want to know what people are thinking. I want to know how they're thinking. I want to know what they look like when they're saying things. I observe all of that. And there was a specific interview that, I'm not sure if she's a YouTuber, but they went to South Korea, since some of the scenes were filmed in South Korea, and they interviewed Koreans about how they felt about Black Panther. And there's this one couple that answered, and the female said, "Oh, I'll give it about a 7. I don't really think it was for me." And then the guy said, "Oh, I'll give it about an 8. I thought it was an awesome movie." And she turned and like looked at him and frowned. And I'm like, what was he supposed to agree with you just because you hated? Then they went to these other people and asked them the same question. What would you rate Black Panther? How did you like Black Panther? And they said, "Oh, I just don't think it was for me. It's not my cup of tea. This, none other." Now, everybody can have their opinion. Like, my opinions differ from a lot of yours. Like, I have my own opinions because of my life experiences, and that's just how it is. We base our opinions off of our thoughts and our life experiences. But that's different from hating because you feel like you can't relate. When they talked about, the cast talked about when they went to South Korea and they did the press conference, how every journalist who was asking them questions came in their traditional garbs, no matter where they were from, they came in their traditional garbs and gave them salutes in their own traditional ways.
That was really cool.
And it's just like, how, again, back to this point of hating, being so pessimistic, just being enraged because you don't see anybody your skin color in a movie. When for so long, we didn't see anybody our skin color, our skin tone in a movie. And finally, when that's celebrated, it's like, oh, it's not for me. Oh, it wasn't that good. Oh, it's not my cup of tea. That's a no. Ryan Coogler states over and over again that this movie is for everybody. Yeah. And I feel like we all miss the mark when we try to have separation when he tried to have inclusion. And so that's number one, that Black Panther is for everybody. Did you want to? That was number one.
You said number two.
That was number one. Black Panther is for everybody. Did you want to add to that? Because you have a lot of great things to say.
Wow. I think, like what you were talking about with the people faking, like, injuries at Black Panther, I kept seeing, like, all those, like, the weekend premiere of Black Panther, and people were just, like, throwing out the most, like, wild, like, oh, I was watching Black Panther, and these two black guys came up to me and were like, you can't watch this movie, you can't be here. And, like, turns out that picture people use was from another event that happened from something else that happened 2 years ago. And I'm just like, how, like, mad do you have to be to bring down someone's joy and happiness? Like, why can't we have nice things? Is it so hard for me to want to see a person who looks like me on the screen without having a bitter person try and come for me because I enjoy that representation? Like, is that so hard? Like, why is that a bad thing for me to have? I don't understand. And for people to just give it bad ratings and to just rate it badly because they don't appreciate the message, they don't appreciate the fact that they don't see a person that looks like them on the screen. Why is that so awful to have people who represent me on the screen now? Like, why is that so awful for people who look like me to have a voice? Like, are you mad? Stay mad.
Two things. One, what she just said, when we complain about that, we're complaining, we're crying, we're this, we're that.
We're not asking for too much.
But when y'all do it, it's, oh, that's true. It's racist. This, not, and the other. Like, excuse me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's not cool. Like,
no.
Just give us this. Why can't we have this? And it came out during Black History Month. And people were still mad. Like, people were still mad.
Oh.
Like, a black movie that came out in Black History Month. Oh, I'm mad because I don't see myself in this movie. Be mad. Like, why? Go watch Civil War. Like, I don't understand why you had to be mad about Black Panther. This movie has been, like, talked about for at least 2 years prior to it coming out. You knew what this was going to be about. You knew that people would show up in, like, truckloads to come see this movie.
Amen.
And you knew that it would be successful. So because you knew all these things, you knew that black people would be the majority at these movie theaters. You're going to be like, well, I don't want to see black people yelling and screaming about stuff that they should be yelling and screaming about. I'm going to be bitter and ruin it. I'm going to rain on their parade, make everyone think that this movie is awful, when this movie was amazing. And regardless of me and Amina being, like, black women, people who aren't black also enjoy the movie as well. Why can't you be them? Why can't you, like, take a seat back and enjoy the movie for what it is? Just a really, really good superhero movie.
Yep.
Like, you have to be mad if you don't see yourself. Enjoy it. Like, you're going to see these characters again in Infinity Wars 1 and 2. So why can't you just, right? Like, why can't you just sit back and enjoy the fact that all these characters are part of a really big movie? Like, I don't understand. Why you gotta be mad? Why you gotta be hating?
Why you gotta be so rude? Okay, so with that, this is kind of like piggybacking off of that, but we are going to go to number 2, which is white privilege. Something that I saw that I've searched and dug for the picture of is this Caucasian family who went to see this movie in traditional.
Ooh.
I can't even say it.
I'll say it. So I think it was. I don't know what theater it was at, but they were some people that were not African who showed up.
Not black either.
Yeah, none of those things. And showed up to the movie theater wearing traditional garb and thought it was really cool and thought they were doing a good thing by showing up just because it was a Black Panther movie. And on that note, personally, I do not like that for several reasons. Cultural appropriation aside, you can't just decide when it's okay for you as a white person to pick up garments from a person's culture and put it on because you're celebrating that culture and you're unaware of the weight that garment, that clothing, that piece of fabric means. And to be mad at people like me who are like, hey, don't do that because that's not cool and that's a little disrespectful, and you're gonna be mad because I'm trying to educate you on why you are a really big part of the problem, and you should probably sit at home and not do that and reevaluate why you felt like this was the best way to show your support at Black Panther. Like, you could have worn anything else. You could have worn pro-black on a t-shirt. You could have worn a t-shirt that said Black Lives Matter. You could have worn anything else. You didn't have to wear tribal wear to Black Panther. Like, you're not cute.
It's wrong.
You're not doing anything.
It's just so wrong. And, you know, there's a lot of excuses for that. Like, and I'll put some up on the screen. There's a lot of excuses that people can use to as why they dress that way.
They're all wrong.
But it's wrong, period. And let me tell you something. So, I always like to revert back to slavery because that's kind of where my history begins because of colonizers. But anyway,
sorry.
Slave women used to wear traditional scarves while picking cotton. They used to wear their head wraps, and because it caused attention, because the slave masters or whatever thought it was eye-catching and they thought it was pretty, the mistresses, or whatever you want to call them, the wives of these slave masters, made them not wear them. They made them take it off. And what came about, because they weren't able to wear their head wraps, is wearing the big hats that you see a lot of Southern women wear. My grandma has tons of hats. And the fact that you are going to take it upon yourself, who even wrapped your head like that? How did you learn how to do that?
Who said? Just tell me. Who said?
The fact that you take it upon yourself to wrap your head like that, when women who it comes from their tradition couldn't do that. Like, the audacity that you have.
It also irks me because when you bring up this conversation, you bring up this topic, then they'll say, oh, well, it wasn't me who did it. Right. It was people before me. Right. So I shouldn't be blamed for their actions. Actually, even though your great-great-great-granddaddy owned slaves and you no longer own slaves now, you're still benefiting from the culture, from the society, from the mentality that was ingrained in this culture that we live in now. And because of that, you still benefit from what your great-great-great-great-granddaddy did. Even though you personally didn't do it, you're still reaping the benefits of that. And you, as a person who should be aware of this, aka white people, should be aware of the sensitivity and the gravitation.
What are you trying to say? The sensitivity. The weight. Wait. Say weight.
The weight. you as a white person should understand the weight that holds on people like me, seeing a person like you walk around willy-nilly with head wraps, scarves, like gillet, anything. Like, that's not cool. That's very inappropriate. And to try and argue me about it is just you kind of parading your privilege and ignorance.
Oh, I was just about to say privilege.
Privilege and ignorance. And, like, that's not helping. Like, why can't you just sit and listen when people of color are telling you shouldn't do something for XYZ reason?
Because they're never told they can't do anything. They're never told they can't do, because they can do everything.
Big facts.
Anything.
Big facts.
And it's like when you tell them no, it's like, how dare you?
You are gonna argue me? A colonizer? How dare you?
So we talked about self-identity a lot in the last video, but there's just a couple of things that I want to say. It's nothing really huge, but this one thing is like, it's hard to believe that you can be something if you never had that example on screen. It's hard to believe that you're royalty or you come from royalty if all you see is you're from violence, is you're from low quality of life. It's like you'll never believe that you're great unless somebody shows you who looks like you that you are great and you can be great. It's like you'll never know that you should be treated like a queen or a king until you see that happening on screen. And it's a shame that we have to see that on screen. And it's a shame that a lot of us aren't taught that growing up. But seeing is believing.
True.
Seeing is believing, and you can see in a lot of different ways, not just with your eyes. You can see in a lot of different ways. I believe in that. But you'll never know that you can be a warrior or a tech genius. That's so significant in this movie. That Shuri, Letitia Wright, a young female, is this tech genius. There are young girls, young African American, young African, smart out of this world, capable out of this world, and they would never believe that they can be anything because they got their parents telling them they can't be anything. They got their friends telling them they can't be anything. They got the news and the world telling them that they can't be anything. But yet, here now, we finally have on this screen this young African girl who is amazing beyond measure, and now they believe they can be anything. Now they want to try. Now they're not going to listen to anybody else. It's going to be hard, but now they're going to push for what they want. Women who are told to step down and to be the lesser and to be inferior and to let your man lead and do this and do that, they'll never think that they could be a warrior. They're always less than themselves. They're always bow their heads. But now, they know they don't have to. They know that it is possible to be in a relationship with the man that you love and respect him, but he can also respect you. That he can have power, but you can also have power too. That he can be strong, but you can be strong too. It's like this movie is molding people's minds and reshaping what they think. And that is key to success. Because when you're told something for so long, even if you did not initially believe that about yourself, you'll start to believe that. You start to believe, oh, that's who you are. Oh, this is what I'm capable of. Oh, and then you'll lessen yourself. Unconsciously, you'll start to lessen yourself and become what everybody else is telling you you are. But the fact that you now can see this on screen and your unconscious can see this on screen, that's going to change the world. And it is changing the world. So when people talk about how this movie is racist and how they can't see themselves, it's more than seeing yourself.
Really? It's racist? Okay. All right. Just like Do you know what that word means?
Okay, I need to. I need to
like
stay
what?
on.
I'm sorry.
No, because I was about to say something else.
Nah,
but
another video.
it's more than seeing yourself. It's more than that. It's more than that.
I think. Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. I think it's really important what Amina said. Like, like having Shuri be on screen and being this tech genius, and she's only 16. Like, people think that that's not a big deal, but it can only take one person. Like one person. Like one person on that screen can change like a little girl's life.
Spark you just like that.
Look at that person and be like, oh my gosh,
just
she's
like
so
that.
Pretty.
Just like that.
She's so pretty. She's so pretty and she's in science.
All it takes is one.
And she's advanced technology for this whole entire population of people. With her. Like, people don't understand that. Like, who am I thinking of? T'Challa and Nakia?
Nakia?
Yeah. Like, their relationship is... even though it comes off as subtle, like their relationship is really important as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Like T'Challa, froze when he saw Nakia.
Yo,
Nakia is able to hold her own ground. Yo, and take care of herself without him. Yo, she didn't like submit to him. She didn't say, "I'm gonna do what you want me to do." She has her own mind and she has her own path, and she doesn't follow his path just because he wants her. She is her own person, and as Black women, it's really, really, really important to have that on a big screen. Granted, like us as Black women, we are strong, we are very independent, but with that, we have been associated with being very angry, being very stubborn, being feisty, being argumentative. But then here you see Nakia with T'Challa being very strong-willed, strong-minded, and even though these stereotypical qualities are seen, she's not argumentative, but she does argue, but it's not as if she's arguing for nothing. It's not as if she's talking for nothing. Everything that she said holds value and holds like, do you want to say?
But he understands that.
Yeah.
And that's where the big aha moment is that he understands her power, her integrity, her independence, her self-love, her he understands that, and that's the key that is missing, is understanding and appreciating who Black women are, what we are capable of. It's like, that is the key that's missing, is understanding and willing to let go of your pride.
Yeah.
Willing to let us be who we are. That's the key. I'm sorry.
Nah.
That understanding is what is missing.
Yeah.
It's like, let go. But I will say that that's how society has raised men to be. I will say that society has raised men to think that they need to have this superiority complex and that they have all these specific roles that that's a different conversation.
True. It is a different conversation. We can go on for like hours talking about all the levels.
That's taking me back to sociology class, to be honest. I'm starting to remember sociology class.
Don't do it.
It's taking me back.
Don't do it.
Because we learned about this.
Don't do it.
I'm not. I'm good. We good. We only had 35 minutes. We good. I want to talk about how a lot of light-skinned people felt unincluded, which they were, because it's not funny. It's just so funny because it's like they've always been included. Okay, how a lot of light-skinned people felt like they weren't included, or how they couldn't see themselves in this movie, how they didn't see where they fit in this movie. And to be honest,
take several seats.
Thank you. To be honest, it's like, you've been in everything. You're on TV shows. You're on Netflix series. You know, you're in every other movie out there. Just because you don't literally see yourself, does not mean that you're not there. And I just want to hit on the fact that Amanda Steinberg talked about how she was offered a role in this movie and she decided not to take it because she knew it wasn't about her, because she knew that the other, because we're so often considered the other, needed to be. It's like, please take a seat. This is one seat that you have to take in your whole life. And the fact that you can identify with white people and with this race and with that race. We don't have that option. We don't have that option. And it's just like this one time where we have something, you still have to like, why are you complaining? You're in everything else. You're always the love interest. You're always everything. So I'm just saying, like, you can relate to so many different races.
It's true.
And we can relate to this one. And it's just like, you want to complain. And hats off, congratulations to Amanda Steinberg, because she's an amazing human. She's an amazing human being. And if you don't follow her activism, then you should, because she's an amazing human being. But then when they want to, value us, it's like, they don't deserve that. They're not as pretty as me. Blah, blah, blah. It's just like, come on, let's be together. Let's know each other, Let's know what our values are and where we stand, and know that we can't stand together. Why you want to keep separating us? I understand that we've been separated for so long, but we don't have to be. You are still half whatever you are half of. Seriously. Seriously, it's like, why are you still trying to have that line?
I just don't understand why there would be any kind. I mean, I don't understand why there should be a discussion in regards of light skin versus dark skin. Like, we've already gone through this phase. This is 2016, 2017. It's done.
That's how it makes me feel.
We're over it. Like, there's no reason for this to be a continuation. Granted, for people to say that they didn't feel like they were included, for Black people to say they didn't feel like they were included, just because there was an all dark skin cast, and to say as a light skinned person, oh, I didn't really feel like I could relate to the movie, that's kind of unfair, because that means you didn't get the takeaway from the movie. Like, regardless of if you passed that, what was it called, the paper bag test?
Yes.
Brown paper bag test,
yes,
or not, you're still a Black person, you're still a Black woman, still a Black man. Like, you still have that unfortunate disadvantage in this society. And you should understand that this movie, regardless of your skin tone, still carries an important message for all Black people, regardless of your skin tone. And to just be upset that you couldn't see a person with lighter skin, curly, long hair, lighter eyes. That's really, really selfish. And, like, I don't know how you can how that can be immediately your takeaway. Because at the end of the day, the movie is still about Black women being strong. And regardless of your skin tone, you are probably a strong Black woman.
Amen.
The movie is about Black men and sensitivity, surprisingly. It's about Black men and sensitivity. And regardless of if you're a Black man who is light or dark as charcoal, you still have to struggle with that in society. So the takeaway from this movie, regardless of where your skin range is on that melanin scale, should be that this movie was made to empower Black people and to have them understand that they come from greatness. And here is this great depiction of Black African greatness. And that's something you should be proud of. And that's something you should be more than willing to take and disperse in your community, in your friend group, in your families. And that should be more important that should be the most important thing that any person of color sees from this movie and takes away. Not that, oh, there's a person who's 10 shades darker than me and I didn't like that. Like, do you really understand the point of the movie then? Or did you just go there to be mad? Because if you did, you should probably take another seat.
I just want, I love love, and I love the power of love, and I just wish that all of us could love each other. You know, and that kind of leads to our last theme, that Wakanda can be real. It's not just like a fictional thing. Like, it can actually be real. And I think that was a theme too. You know, Ryan, I sound like I said Brian, but I said Ryan.
It didn't like say Brian.
he put a lot of thought into it, but that thought stems from what would this really look like. And truth is that it could actually really look like something. And I'm gonna let Ashabi talk about this because I love like her point of view about what it would take for Wakanda to be real. And I'm not gonna steal her answer and say it and use it as mine like I was thinking about doing. But I'm gonna just talk about like what I feel would make Wakanda real.
So when me and Amina were talking about this, we talked about how, you know, despite the fact that I'm African and she's African American, there are similarities between both of us, and that these similarities have been seen as minuscule and our differences have been highlighted more so. And the only reason why these differences have been highlighted is because of the society we happen to be living in right now. And previous generations before and like some generations now understand that there's this animosity between Africans and African Americans, and me and Amina were talking about how this could be resolved and if this could somehow disperse and not be an issue in future generations or starting with us. And I was saying that the main reason why this is an issue is because white people happen to have colonized a majority. Colonizers.
Sorry.
These colonizers have happened to go about the world and put in place their image of beauty and their image of wealth and success, and decided that our successes and our technologies and our ways of living were insufficient. And the only way, the most proper way for this separation to no longer be in place would be if that didn't happen, or if that were to happen today in some way, shape, or form, this would not be a thing. And Wakanda could definitely be a possibility. And the reason why I say that is because if you watch that interview with Lupita and Trevor Noah, she mentions the fact that it's the white thought and white idea to disregard our kinks and curls. It's the white thought and white idea to use bleaching cream to lighten our skin, to dissociate ourselves from our own culture. This is not a thought of our own. Before colonizers came, we had our own way of doing these things. We had our own way of beauty. We had our own way of doing hair. And Lupita mentioned that hair extensions are not a new thing. It's been a thing for forever. Blonde hair on black people is also not a new thing. Red hair on black people isn't a new thing. Blue eyes, green eyes, like the diversity of DNA is not a new thing in black people. But when white people came to these countries that happen to be full of people that look like me, whether it be in Asia, whether it be in Africa, whether it be in South America, the idea of beauty was shifted from their own idea to the idea of the white man. And for this idea of beauty to shift back, that which was in place by these white people, would have to like somehow, some way no longer be there. And for Wakanda to be in existence, there are two things. For that to not have been a thing, for Africans to be Africans and advance themselves as they were doing, and to continuously bring forth new technologies, new ways of life, because Africans invent things all the time. Africans are not stupid. You thought Africans are stupid.
Gosh,
Nigerians are hella smart. Nigerians are doctors that you have, the lawyers that you have, engineers that you have. Africans are very smart.
Yes.
So for people to think that Africa is a third world country, for people to think that Africa has nothing, that is not the way it was prior to these colonizers coming. And for us to have this difference between us go away, for us to have this conflict between Africans, African Americans go away, that in the first place should have never happened, because it's not the fault of Amina's like ancestors for them to be here. It's not like they packed up their bags and chose to come to America. They were tricked by the white settlers that came to Africa. They tricked kings and queens into bringing their people on these boats because they thought that they would come back. Unbeknownst to them, they never came back. They ended up throwing half of them in the ocean. They ended up selling half of them as slaves. They ended up raping, killing, like emasculating all these people who had no choice because they decided to not do the work themselves and building a country that they also stole from other people. So that's one way Wakanda could exist. I was just thinking about another way, like just now. I feel like even though Wakanda exists in Africa and even though it's a fictional country, the end of the video you see T'Challa and Shuri go back to where Killmonger used to be, and they brought their ideas and resources to this area and decided to build from there and build up. I feel like if we cannot ourselves bring that possibility of Wakanda to Africa, it's not impossible to have Wakanda be a possibility in your neighborhood. It's not an impossibility. You can absolutely have celebrities that have a namesake or come from this specific area in Chicago, Detroit, California, New Mexico, whatever the fuck. Like any of these places, like if you have these people that are influential, have money, are very proud and very black, bringing their own resources and bringing their own wealth back to the places that they left, and making sure these places are being brought up from the despair and the awfulness that was placed there by, again, white people who decided that they were not worthy of having the great things that they have, quote unquote great. I feel like these celebrities could definitely make Wakanda, the idea of black greatness, a reality in under like privileged neighborhoods or just the areas that need the most work, because that's definitely going to bring up more successful black women, black men, more healthy black families, more possibilities of black actresses, actors, singers, writers, producers, directors, more possibilities of black Academy Award winners, black Oscar winners, black Grammy artists. Like, this could be a very possible thing if these celebrities decided to do that. And with those celebrity influences, Wakanda could definitely be a reality, not in Africa, but in your own backyard.
Definitely. And I think that's something that I should start off first saying. When I think of Wakanda, I think of everywhere. So not just in Africa. To me, Wakanda is a way of life. Wakanda is not just a place. Wakanda is a way of life. To me, when I think of Wakanda. And so when I say Wakanda can be a reality, I mean, as a whole on the earth, everywhere Wakanda can exist. And it's good that you brought that up because I didn't expand on that before. To me, Wakanda is a mentality. It's a way of life. It's a tradition. It's how you think about yourself. It's how you eat. It's how you sleep. It's how you walk. It's how you go throughout your day. It's how you carry yourself. Because that's how they feel about Wakanda. And that's what Wakanda, to me, that's how it was shown to me. It's like Wakanda is everything. It's not just a place. It's everything. And that's a good point, is that Wakanda can be everywhere. It doesn't have to just be in Africa. Now, would I be really happy if it was just in Africa? Yes,
Hells yes.
I would be very happy about that.
Send me back,
Just
please.
me. Just me, by my little lonesome self.
Aw.
I do think, but but it can be everywhere, and that's a good point. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Now, she talked about the relinquishment of white people.
Why? White people.
Of white people.
White people. Why? White people.
Yes.
Why?
And that's a very good point.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that when I myself was thinking about how Wakanda could be real. And I think that that's very true. Because they're the ones, like she said, who brought these ideas upon us and made us think these certain ways about ourselves and made us think we were animals and not humans, and that we were incapable
of bettering ourselves.
Of everything. That
like,
we're
honestly.
But we play a big part too. I don't like to play the blame game. I know where I stand and I know what I'm responsible for. And I see what my people are responsible for. And when I talk about my people, I'm specifically talking about Black people in this country. Because I'm Black. I'm happy to be Black because I have that history. And my people went through so much. And that shows in how strong that I am. They show in how strong I am. And I will never not be happy to be who I am. But that's not what we're talking about right now. I see the way that we fight each other. And I see the way that we hate each other. And I see the way, it's just so nasty. And it gives me chills and it gives me goosebumps and it makes me angry. And the biggest thing that tears us apart and makes us not be great is white people. But it's our slave mentality that's still built into our unconscious. It's built into our unconscious. Now, a lot of people like to say they're woke, they're this, they're that. But at the same time,
Hotep.
You got this unconscious back here that is never going to go away. It's never going to go away. And stuff that you see, but you don't know you see. And stuff that you hear, but you don't know you hear. And connections that are made in your brain that are unconscious that you don't know about are still there. I'm very into the unconscious because unconscious is a big role in our minds, believe it or not. But it will take that death of slave mentality. It will take that death of pride. It will take the death of stereotypes, the death of internal and external wars, and just the death of like hatred for ourselves. We have so many Black men that hate Black women.
Truth.
And that hurts me because I love Black men. I love Black men. But so many Black men hate Black women.
Which is funny because to create a Black man, you kind of have to have a Black mom. So there's that sense of self-hate in there. It's kind of unfortunate. And again, with that self-hate comes the thought brought in by the colonizers.
It's just a division. The division that they have created, and they created it so well. They implanted it so well. Their tactics were amazing. And it's going to hold us on our separate sides forever. And I truly, truly want to believe that we can get through that and that we can be great. That's always been my hope. I've always wanted to see all of us together because I'm just like I said before, I'm a lover of love. And I believe that everything is possible with love. And I have so much hope for us because I know we are capable. We are the first people. We are capable of everything and anything that we want to put our minds to, but we won't put our minds to it because our minds are lost somewhere else. Because our minds believe the lies. It's just like, it's so crazy. Like, it's going to take a lot of death, of a lot of things, and not of people. Of people, yes, because people are created in their minds.
So hype.
This is where you're. This is who you are right here, and here. This is who you are, and it's going to take depth of that, of how you view yourself. Not everybody, because some people are actually capable right now, but it's going to take a lot of depth of ourselves and a lot of letting our guards down and a lot of education, a lot of positivity, a lot of thinking, a lot of working together. It would take all of that. But you know, at the end of the day, I believe that can happen. And I believe that can happen because I believe in humanity. And I believe in us. We are so smart and intelligent beyond measure. And if we did not have the physical forces in society that make us believe different, we would be so great. And we are great. We are. We have a lot of great people that we are able to look up to. And I'm thankful for that. But it's just like, until we have whatever middleman, whatever that is that's in our mind or physically actually in our lives that's holding us back, it's like, it's not going to happen. And I want it to happen because I really do believe in us. I believe in us. And I'm just going to live my life waiting on that day. But it's just like, we have so much pride. We have too much pride to like love each other and to understand each other and to want to get to know each other and communicate on a vast majority. Communication on a vast majority of everybody is terrible in the first place. But the fact that we cannot communicate how we feel, it's so much stuff that would have to happen to make Wakanda real. But I honestly just believe that we can, because we are awesome. We are awesome creations. We really are. And until we realize that, and until we realize what we're capable of, dang, my shoulders go up high. Until we realize that, it's just like, man, like what in the comments, let me know what you think it would take for us to get this together. What it would take for us to break down, and make Wakanda real. Like, let me know. And I know a lot of y'all ain't gonna comment, but that's okay, cause baby steps. But I would really like to know, because thank you guys for watching. Those were our 4 points. White privilege, Black Panther is for everyone, self-identity, and what it would take to make Wakanda real. Not necessarily in that order, but in this video. Yep. So if you like this video or if you dislike this video, give me a thumbs up and a thumbs down, but let me know why. I want to know why. I'm okay with agreeing to disagree, you know? But I want to know why. I want to know what you're thinking about. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Yes. Hey. And just let me know what you're thinking. I will see you on Monday. This video is going up on Monday. Yeah, this video is going up on Monday. Okay. I'll see you on Wednesday with another video. And that's it. I want to thank Ashabi for doing these videos with me, because I truly love her view on things. I love to hear how she thinks about things. It really just, I love that about people anyway, is because I'm nosy and I like to know what people think. But she's amazing. She says a lot of really intelligent stuff, and I look up to her a lot because of that. And I'm so happy to have her in this video and to share these experiences with me and this time in life with me. So thank I'm happy Ashabi was in these videos with me, and hopefully you'll see her in some other videos where we're having fun and not talking about stuff that's so serious. But serious conversations need to be had.
Yeah, I love this shit.
So
this is my favorite stuff.
We can keep doing this though.
I'm down.
Look, hey, okay. Alright, so anyway, peace, love, and blessings to all of you.